It was a land of kings and kingdoms, of silk and spices, of temples that kissed the sky and rivers that sang through the heart of an ancient civilization. India, before the British came, was not a single nation but a vast tapestry of cultures, languages, and empires. The Mughals ruled much of the north, their palaces shining with marble and gold. In the south, proud dynasties controlled trade with Arabia and Africa. Across the land, merchants, poets, and philosophers thrived. When the first British ships arrived at the start of the 17th century, they came not as conquerors but as traders. The East India Company had a simple goal: spices, silk, and wealth. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir welcomed them as distant guests, unaware that these polite merchants would one day become rulers. The British built their first trading posts in Surat, Madras, Bombay, and Calcutta, quietly weaving themselves into India's economic fabric. For decades, they remained small players, but power has a way of shifting quietly, like the tide. As the Mughal Empire began to weaken, India slowly fragmented into regional kingdoms. The East India Company watched and waited. They learned the languages, studied the politics, and, step by step, began to turn trade into power. In 1757, everything changed. At the Battle of Plassey, the company's forces, led by Robert Clive, defeated the Nawab of Bengal, aided by betrayal and manipulation. This victory was the true beginning of British rule. The company gained control over Bengal's enormous wealth and used it to build an army of Indian soldiers, or sepoys, to expand its control. But it wasn't just guns and battles that built their empire. It was cunning diplomacy. They played kings against each other, offering protection to some and overthrowing others. Kingdom by kingdom, a company of merchants became a company of rulers. Under the company's rule, the wealth of the land was drained. Raw materials like cotton and indigo were shipped to Britain's factories. Taxes rose, farmers suffered, and traditional industries collapsed. The same looms that once wove the finest muslins now lay silent, replaced by cheap machine-made cloth from Manchester. By the mid-19th century, the company had grown arrogant. The spark came in 1857. Indian sepoys rose up in rebellion, ignited by a rumor about rifle cartridges greased with cow and pig fat, an insult to both Hindu and Muslim faiths. The revolt spread like wildfire across northern India. For a brief moment, Indians of all faiths stood together, fighting for freedom. The British responded with brutal force, crushing the rebellion within a year. When the smoke cleared, the East India Company was finished. The British government took direct control, and Queen Victoria was declared Empress of India. What began as a trading venture had become the jewel in the crown of the British Empire. The Raj had begun. I hope you're finding this story as fascinating as I do. If you want to see how this incredible saga unfolds, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part. Thanks for watching.